Selamat datang di KAPOC. Harus ada biar belajar. Sekarang kita lagi kedatangan Vice President dari Hult Business School. It's Mr. Calle Torén. Is it?
Yeah.
Correct?
Very
How to pronounce your name?
Yeah. Your Swedish is good.
Oh, it's Swedish, right?
It's Swedish. Yeah.
Calle Torén, yeah. Mr. Calle Torén is from Hult Business School. He is a Vice President of what is it? The
Finance and strategy. Is
Finance
the
and
exact
strategy.
title. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Quite long title.
Yes.
So this
Too
podcast,
long.
yeah, this podcast will be full English. I hope you can follow us, and then I know you can follow us, and then I hope Mr. Calle can understand my English. I'm sorry for my broken English, Mr. Calle.
It's fine.
Okay, Mr. Calle is directly from UK today, right? And then may I know, Mr. Calle, where are you come from?
So I grew up in Sweden, far north, with a lot of snow and a lot of darkness. And then after I graduated from uni in Sweden, I got my first job in Sydney, Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, where it's a lot warmer and nicer. So I was 4 years in Australia, and then I moved to Hong Kong. 3 years in Hong Kong, working with Hult in Shanghai and Dubai. After that, I moved to Switzerland when we were building our campuses in Boston and San Francisco. And then finally now I moved to the UK.
UK.
Yeah, United Kingdom.
Precisely in
Precisely in London.
London.
Yeah.
Okay. So from Sweden,
Yeah,
moved to Australia, and then Hong Kong,
yeah.
Dubai,
Hong Kong, then Switzerland.
Switzerland,
And then London.
London now.
Yeah.
Quite a long journey, right?
Quite a long journey.
From snowy, warmer.
Yeah.
So is it your first time in Indonesia?
It's not. I've been 3 or 4 times before. But yes, it's. I'm still learning and trying to understand the culture.
Yeah.
Everyone is very nice to me. Everyone is very polite. Yeah. So I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy Indonesia actually, Mr. Calle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay, so you work in Hult Business School. How long you've been work in Hult?
Pretty much my whole career. So 18, going on 18 years.
18 years?
18 years. It's it's everything I've done with my life is build this university.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Kalau anak SMA nih udah kuliah nih, it's already college, right? 18 years old, it's already college in the college.
Yeah.
So 18 years in Hult. So it means that you know the origin story of Hult, right?
Absolutely.
Do you know? Could you tell us the origin story of
Yeah.
Hult Business School?
Yeah, I mean Hult is a bit of a unicorn in the sense that it's a new university, right? We've only been around for 20 years.
20 years, okay.
Yeah, and universities are either very big, run by the government, 20,000 students, or it's a small university that is often run for profit.
Yeah.
Hult is neither. We're a private university that is non-for-profit.
Private and non-profit.
Non-for-profit business school, which is a rare thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Because usually private will need profit, right? Because it's private. It's not run by government.
Yeah.
So how does Hult?
So how it came about? So there's a Swedish businessman named Bertil Hult.
Bertil Hult. Yeah.
And in Indonesia, people know him as the founder of English First.
Yes.
Yeah.
EF. Yeah.
EF. But English First, of course, is a small part of the overall business that he has built. And he's a special man. He's built Education First, which is the overall company. There's 52,000 employees around the world.
52,000.
Yeah, and it's still a family business, right?
Yeah.
Which is a very rare thing. He's built the whole thing just reinvesting his own profits. There's no other shareholders. He and his family still runs the whole company, and that is a rare thing.
Yeah.
So he's a serial entrepreneur, very good at what he does. But most importantly, what makes him very interesting, apart from that he's accomplished all this, is that he is severely dyslexic.
Dyslexia.
He cannot read to save his life. He's a university dropout. He never finished uni, and still, as we know from many other famous businessmen and women, he went on to create great success.
Yeah.
So, but he was told his whole life that he was a bad student, right? His whole life he was told that he would not, nothing would become of him, right?
He was told that he will not be successful.
Yeah.
But now.
So, when he retired, this is 20 years ago, he decided to build Hult International Business School.
Oh.
And that is why we can exist, because he felt very strongly that education can be done differently. That maybe we're not meant to learn by putting 300 students in one room to just take notes.
Yeah.
And then we go to the library to memorize books for 4 years. Then we get a degree, but we've forgotten everything. Like, the idea for him is that we are fundamentally not built, human beings, to learn by memorizing textbooks.
So we need to practice it.
That is part of the idea. Yes, like anything else you do in your life. If you learn to swim, or you learn to play an instrument, or you learn to ride a bike, or you learn to drive a car, you don't do that by just reading a textbook.
It is. Just the theories will not save you, right?
Yeah. And that's how you build your confidence. That is how you become who you are, is when you push yourself out of your comfort zone and into a new environment. And that is what he observed, is that traditional universities don't provide that for you.
Yeah.
There's very little personal development happening in the library, right?
Yeah, of course.
So the origin story is that Bertil Hult gave us the rules. He decided to build Hult International Business School, and we can only exist because he paid for it. All the campuses that we built, all the staff that we had to hire, it's because of him. So he wanted to build a different kind of university, and when he retired, that is exactly what he did.
Okay, so Bertil Hult is dropped out.
Yeah.
And told that he won't be success.
Yeah.
But still he wants to do something with the education.
Yeah.
That's something, what is it? Out of mind. I mean, like, if I was him, I wouldn't do that. I mean, like, I was told that I won't be successful in academic things, and then that I am a bad student. Okay, I'm enough with the academic things. I will try to do another thing. But Bertil Hult is still.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a fair point. I hadn't thought of that myself, but yeah, I think to Bertil, what it is about is the unharnessed potential out there.
Yeah.
And it's not just students who don't fit into the format of memorizing text. It is also the students that are still very good in a traditional education, but still we all need practical experiences. We all need practical learning in order to grow and mature. It's for everyone. It's like, I play the guitar. I love to play the guitar. You take it away from me for 5 years.
Yeah.
You give it back. I can still play.
Yeah, because it's, what is it? Already in your.
It's hardwired through practice, and I know that I can do it. Right? The confidence that comes with that. But I can't remember what I read in the newspaper last week.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that. It's not a very controversial thing to say that practical learning is how human beings are meant to learn.
I see. So Bertil Hult wants to, make another another kind of education, which I mean, it means that he's really, really eager to make the world better, right? Because though he was told that he was bad student, he's not, hate the academic things. It means that he really, really, meant to, educator, right?
Yeah, I think
that's why he make the Hult Business School.
Yeah, and I think a crucial part of this is that anything you love, You, me, anyone. Anything you love it because you do it. Not because you read the theory of a subject. But if you only read theory for 4 years in the library at your university, you can graduate, and it's not until you go into your first job you realize that this is actually not for me. Right?
Yeah. It's not in the book.
It's not in the book. And don't get me wrong, if you become a doctor, I want you to read all the books many times before you operate on me.
Yeah, of course.
Or if you want to be an engineer, you have to read the books.
Yeah.
If you want to build a bridge that I'm to walk on. But because we teach business,
Yeah.
right? We are in a position to create a different kind of learning experience, which allows the students to figure out what it is that they love. Is it marketing? Is it entrepreneurship? Is it finance or business analytics? You don't know it until you do it.
Yeah.
So that is at the heart of it. So that is why Bertil gave us certain rules on which we had to execute in order for him to. He gave us the rule book before he gave us the checkbook.
Yeah.
So to speak. So he gave us certain rules as for how to build Hult International Business School. And those are, I'm assuming, I assume you want to know.
Okay.
The key thing to the design of the school is, one, we teach only business. Why? Because we need every student on campus to have a love for the same subject. If you teach 50 different things, you don't create that family feeling on campus where everywhere you turn around is one thing being discussed around you.
Of course.
The second thing is that we're going to build small campuses.
Small campuses.
Yeah, so the Hult undergraduate campuses, they hold 1,000 students. If we fill one up, we build another one. The average classroom size, student to professor ratio, is 48.
48 only?
48 only. Why? Because if we want to do practical learning, we have to keep it small. You can't execute a practical learning curriculum with 300 students in the room.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
3, we're going to build the campuses in the center of the cities, where business happens. Whether you go to Hult in Dubai or London or Boston or San Francisco, the campus is always in the business district.
So the students can, face the real, real situation, right?
Yeah, we often invite a lot of companies to Hult, it's part of the curriculum, and they need to be around you, all around you in the environment that you're in. If you're out on the countryside, maybe that's not the best environment to study business.
Yeah. Farming, yes, but not starting up business.
Then Bertil also said we're going to allow the students to rotate between the campuses.
Rotate?
Yes. So a student can do year 1 in London, and then go to Boston, and then go back to London, or stay in London if they prefer. We don't dictate, but we create the opportunity. Is the exact identical curriculum being taught in different cities? Because it's practical learning to move around the world, to adapt to new people, to new situations. It's part of your maturity and your independence.
Yeah.
In addition to that, the students can take summer courses in London and Boston, of course, where our main campuses are, but also San Francisco and Dubai.
So students can feel the new experience.
Yeah.
Rather than 4 years in one place, right?
Yeah. And you're going to come back as a businessman or a businesswoman to San Francisco. If you spent 15 weeks there, you land with a different set of kind of confidence. I know this place. You want to do business, you have to see it and touch it for yourself.
Of course, yeah, I agree.
And then finally, in addition to small campuses, middle of the city, allow for rotation, the 2 most important rules that Bertil gave us was 1, diversity by design.
Diversity by
design. Meaning that when it comes to the nationalities, no one nationality is allowed to dominate the campus space. So if you go to Hult in the UK, there's not more UK students than any other nationality.
I thought if you're studying in London, many UKs there. No, not like that.
At a traditional university, yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be 90% UK students.
Of course.
At Hult, over 1,000 students on campus, there's 150 nationalities, but no one nationality is more than 8% of the student body. By design. Because if you want to learn to do business with the world,
you have to
you need
socialize with the world, right?
Totally. You need to have the world around you.
Mm.
So that's the idea behind the diversity by design, and so we cap the number of nationalities that we take from the different countries. This year, for example, we take 20 students from mainland China. That is for London and Boston combined. Right? Because we can't have just you go for an international business experience if you have 90% UK students around you and then the rest of the international student body are all from China and India.
Yeah.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
Not because there's anything wrong with those students, but that's not how you learn business and learn about the world. Right?
So you create the surroundings, the environment to do the real business environment.
Yeah.
World business, global, right?
Yes.
It's global. Wow.
And then finally, a fully practical curriculum.
Fully practical curriculum.
Yes. No written tests at all.
No written test at all.
No written tests at all.
That's the what is it? The good part. No written test, but practical is the harder, right?
You still have to read the books, but the key thing to understand the curriculum is that you work in teams.
Teamwork.
Yeah. And you have to solve a problem. You have to solve a real business problem. We don't teach subjects, we teach problems and how to solve them.
That's the important thing, right?
Yeah. And I mean, Hult is still triple accredited. Only 1% of business schools in the world have triple accreditation. So having a fully practical curriculum is nothing that stops us from holding all these accreditations. But the point is, you don't step into the classroom and now we're only going to talk marketing, and then you go to the library and you memorize 4 books on marketing.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to teach you the finance you need and the statistics you need and the business analytics that you need and the entrepreneurship, but it's always geared towards solving a business problem we know you're going to encounter in the real world. Right? And you sit in your team, an international team, you come to Hult, your first week you're put into a group with someone from Canada and someone from Japan and someone from Germany and someone from Peru, and you need not only solve the business problem, you need to navigate these relationships at the same time. So that is the essence of it. And the exam is then, if we take the first year when you come to Hult, you have to do, your first challenge is a startup challenge.
Startup challenge.
And the exam is to pitch to investors. And the professors are your investors, and you are meant, the exam, you go on stage and you deliver a perfect presentation and you deliver a perfect PowerPoint and you hand over your business proposal.
Oh, it's like the real thing.
Yeah, because that's what
pitching, right?
That is what a real company will ask you to do.
Yeah.
And no company will ask you, okay, now you graduated, welcome, can you please memorize these 8 books for me? It's not a skill that anyone is asking for out in the real world. It's something that universities do because it's scalable. We can put so many students under one roof and execute education this way.
Wow, so that's really, really great thing about Hult. I mean, like the environment that you designed for the students, and then the practical thing. Most of them are practical thing, right? Most of the curriculum.
All of it. Every single exam is practical in nature. That doesn't mean you don't have to read the books.
You have to.
But it's also you can deliver a good solution to the business problem. So in the first year, before you pick your major or your minor, you have to do a startup challenge that we mentioned. Then you have to do a future-proofing challenge. What's going to come and kill your business in the next 10, 15 years?
Oh, prevention.
Yeah.
Like prevention, like.
Yeah. And then you're doing a sustainability challenge. How do we take a brick and mortar business and make it more environmentally sustainable? So that is the nature of the type of courses you have to do. It's always a business challenge before you pick your business major or business minor.
So when do the students can have their specialization?
So at Hult, even though we're in the US and the UK, students get a degree from both countries. We have university status in both countries. No matter where they go, they get the degree. But the curriculum is American.
Oh, American.
Yeah, meaning that a student don't need to declare their major straight away.
Oh, straight away.
No.
Cannot.
At a UK university, you may have to declare your major from the get-go.
Yeah.
At Hult, you have a full year to enjoy the practical learning and let that guide you towards what it is that you enjoy. Many students come in and think they want to go to Wall Street and they were going to do business analytics and finance majors, and then we ask them, do you love math? And they go, no.
So it's not fit with him, right?
Well, we're not going to stop them if that is their passion and their love, but the practical learning allows them to suddenly see, just like they're playing basketball or they do public speaking, or all of a sudden it becomes very clear where your strengths are, what it is that you gravitate towards. If you have a creative mindset, but you're probably going to go towards entrepreneurship and marketing. If you're a very social person who loves to take care of others and look after others, you're going to gravitate towards management, because that is who you are as a human being and a person. Because once you graduate, and this is what students get wrong, like they so focused on the boardrooms and the big titles and the nice suits and the nice cars. Once you graduate, you will be surrounded by people who love what they do. That is what happens in the real world. And if you don't, it's very hard to compete. Right?
Of course.
You can make it to Wall Street, but if you don't have a love for math at all, it's going to be very hard to compete once you're there.
And then you cannot be survived, right?
And it's about showing students that, because it will guide them towards what it is that they love. And whatever it is that they love, they will most likely be successful in, because they'll have a fun job that they enjoy.
Okay. So at the first year, they will have to learn everything.
They take our business challenges, our core modules as we call them.
Core modules.
And in the second year, they start choosing their specialization. We have marketing, management, entrepreneurship, finance, and business analytics.
5 specialization.
The majors, and they come as minors as well.
Minors?
And in addition to that, we have 2 minors in psychology and design. Simply because we know that those subjects are good to pair with a business degree.
Psychology and design.
Design, yes.
Okay. So what is the most favorite specialization in Hult, actually?
For me, personally? I mean...
everything. All of them.
Well, I love seeing students understanding... I love seeing the students go through the process and having the penny drop and go, actually, I was so focused on this, but it's actually not what my love is. And to help a student understand that is super meaningful to me, even as, a back office accountant person, right? Because the students find their purpose. And then they go in, they attack the education with so much more purpose and joy. So watching a student understand what it is that they love is my favorite part of it. And then I'm not going to pick a favorite. Like it's more about allowing students to understand what they are meant to work with.
Okay, so let the students choose what they enjoy most. Because it makes you love what you do. You do what you love, right? And it sounds like a soft value, but it's a hard one. You want to be the best, or you want to succeed and do all these things.
You need to enjoy yourself
doing
it, or it's too hard. So that is, and then I don't like entrepreneurship and management and marketing. I love them equally. It's about seeing the student knowing that they've made the right choice. And if you spend, again, 4 years in the library, you have no clue.
4 years in the library. Yes. Okay, another question, Mr. Calle.
Sure.
What the opportunities does Hult offer for students to get international exposure and develop a global mindset? It's kind of serious question.
That's fine. It's a good question. I mean,
because we would like to know how is it the audience can see what the opportunity that can Hult offer to the students.
I mean, the most important aspect in terms of getting a global mindset we already touched on, the diversity by design, right?
They want
to ensure that you have 150 nationalities around you, and as you do one challenge, you move on to the next. The team around you will change. So you are exposed to all these different nationalities during your time at Hult.
So you have to study with another cultures, another.
Yeah, in addition to the rotation around the world that we spoke about, but the key thing is 69% of our student body work in a different country than where they're from.
Oh.
Which is a high number considering that many students go to Hult because they know they're going to go home and run the family business.
Yes.
Still, 69% remain overseas. But it's not all US and the UK. The students graduate from Hult becoming very open to Germany, to France, to Brazil, to Sweden even, Spain. Apart from the US and the UK, these are our top countries that students go to. Because the corporate language these days is English everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So once you have friends, once you feel you understand what people are from and how they think and what they do, you become much more open to the world than to think that US and the UK is my only path to the world. So that is for the global mindset. In terms of the opportunities, we invite a lot of companies to Hult. The companies come because we provide 150 different nationalities of Generation Z in one building, which is very good for the companies because they often don't know how to work with Generation Z. Either how to sell with them or how they're thinking or how they're going about things. So the companies come because of the diversity for the same reason as the students. And they issue often challenges that they have for our students to solve. So recently we had Unilever. One of the brands that Unilever have is Axe, the deodorant. I don't know if it's
Axe,
called.
Axe, yeah.
It's called the same in Indonesia?
Yes.
So Unilever had a problem, and that was that when the pandemic hit and everyone started working from home, guess what? They stopped buying deodorant.
Of course.
They
don't go out, right?
You don't go out, so I'm not going to spend money on deodorant because I'm staying at home anyway. And to this day, many countries have work weeks where they spend 2 days working from home. So of course, brands see their hygiene product sales go down.
Yes.
So Unilever comes to Hult and it says, guys, how should we market Axe to the younger generation? That is a typical example of a business challenge that is issued to the students at Hult.
So you invite the companies, and then the companies, maybe from the point of view of the companies, they can see that, wow, so many fish here, so we can fish here.
Yeah. Well, the final piece. I mean, 96% of our students are working within 6 months of graduating if they're not taking the master's degree. The reason for that number is that the students get a portfolio from Hult. You get your degree and your transcript like any other university, but you also get a portfolio at the end where you can show an employer, these are the nationalities that I've done project management with, these are the projects that I've done. I am self-aware because here are my skills. The things that you and I have to figure out at work, making all the mistakes in our first job. The idea is to allow the student to discover this during their university already, so that the employers can see these are all the things that the students have already done within the normal curriculum of study.
Yeah, so it makes the employer the companies will see that, oh, this guy has already done this, and this. So we need him, like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hire a lot of new graduates for entry-level jobs. It's not rocket science just yet, but I need young adults who can do critical thinking, who can work in teams, who have the diplomacy skills, who can operate in an international environment. I can teach them anything they need to know about finance for an entry-level job. That is not the hard part. The hard part is how mature are they when they come into their first job, so that we can build on that, so that we can take them to the next level. And that is what employers are looking for. Students who haven't just the skill to memorize text, but the skill of working with people, being self-aware. Learning to learn is a big one, right?
Learning to learn. Wow, this is the keyword. Learning to learn. Because sometimes human, right? If they just know something a bit, they feel that I know everything. They don't want to learn anymore. But in Hult, you make them learn to learn, learning to learn.
Yeah.
How to learn.
Yeah. How to regroup. You don't know how to solve. Like the world doesn't provide you with answers. We will issue a challenge where we will start changing the rules.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And it takes the students several days before they realize that we're testing their ability to adjust.
Yeah.
They go especially the students that come with very high GPA from high school, who like, I need to be the best all the time, go absolutely crazy when we start changing the rules on them.
Yeah.
Because it's just not how they've been wired to learn for all of high school. It's all been about, you told me to read these books, I learned them inside and out. Well, the world will not be that kind to you.
Yeah,
right?
of course. It's different than the book said, right?
Yeah. And again,
especially in business, right?
Yeah.
Because you know that business is already changed every year, every age. I mean, like because that means that Hult is always improvised the curriculum, right? To face what is happening in the business world today, like
yes. So the word improvised is not the word I would use. The students have to improvise. But we are the curriculum is very carefully designed and thought of. I mean, these were the fundamental rules that the founder gave us. He said, this is what you need to do, or I will not finance this huge endeavor of trying to show the world that there is a different way to go about university education. Yeah.
Okay, so that answered my next question actually. How does Hult Business School support students in gaining practical experience?
Yeah, I mean, the thing we haven't mentioned yet that is important is that every student at Hult gets a personal coach.
Coach, yeah.
So, because it's too difficult. It's too difficult to come. If you come as an 18-year-old young man or woman from Jakarta, you travel all the way to London or to Boston, and you're immediately put into a team with people from all over the world. It's not easy. As students love that there's no written exams, that does not mean that it's easy, right? And the personal coach is there to help you digest your feedback, because just like a real company, we make the students give feedback on each other's performance at the end of the challenge. Yeah. And the coach is there to help the students navigate, to allow them to talk about, how do you really feel about business analytics? Yeah. Are you sure that is what you want to do? You're scoring very high on these metrics here. You're a great leader. The shy, quiet Chinese girl is the smartest person in the room. You were the only person that made her talk. Right?
Yeah. And so the coach is like the advisor.
Yeah, and that's the leadership. And that is what we need at a university age as well. We need someone to help us navigate this. And that is what the coach is for. It's not a professor. It's a completely independent person who is a professional coach for a living.
Professional coach, yeah.
So that is a key aspect to get the students ready. Not just the companies that we bring in or the environment that we create. That personal coach is crucial to the students' journey with Hult. And they stay with the students for the entire time.
Okay, tuh banyak banget. One last question,
sure.
Mr. Calle. This is, I think this is the most important, that what students will get after this. Does Hult provide career development resources and opportunities to undergrad students at Hult, including internships, like job placements, alumni network? Do you provide it?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. What is it?
Yes and no. So all students, apart from the coach, there's a career services department and a corporate relations department. The career services and the coach work with the students from the first year on the very basic things. Mock interviews, how do you behave in a job interview, like your CV, your LinkedIn, all the basic stuff. The corporate relations department invite companies to Hult, as we already mentioned. The companies come because they get a whole generation Z and they have problems. They need the younger generation to help them solve. Old executives who don't know what to do, right? And many of our students, apart from working with companies as part of the regular curriculum, do internships for these companies as well. but we will never give you an internship. We will teach you how to fight for one. Right?
So you don't spoil them.
No, it's the dangerous thing of creating an internship factory is that there's a student before you doing the exact same internship, and there's a student coming after you doing the exact same internship. There is no, first of all, you don't have to fight to get it, and second, you're not creating a unique experience with that company.
Understood. Yeah.
Right? So we do expos and we invite all these companies that are part of our regular curriculum, and we tell the students, you need to print up some business cards. There's an expo in town, you need to go there and shake hands and just make people aware that you exist. You need to do your best as part of the project for this company, because they're going to come here looking for interns. And then you have to go and fight for it. But the world will not hand you an internship. The world will not hand you anything for free.
Yeah,
we need to teach you how to get it for yourself.
Yeah, so you have to fight it for yourself, right?
Yeah, that's when it comes to the internships. But again, the students get a very unique environment. In terms of the diversity, the opportunity to rotate, the fully practical curriculum, the small size, right? It's no for-profit university would build a small campus in the middle of the central business district.
Yeah.
Right? That is the environment that you get from home in order to allow you to mature and grow.
Yeah.
And that is what drives the employment statistics. It's why 96% of students are in a job within 6 months of graduating.
Yeah. So, actually, it's a new insight for me, because usually we are talking about internship. That okay, my senior do the internship here, so maybe I can get it from him, right? And then makes them not fight for it. But maybe it sounds mean that Hult doesn't provide the internship, but Hult prepare it, right?
Yeah.
Prepare your mental so you can fight in the real world.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry.
Yeah. And 60% of our students do internships, so it's very common. The students love it. We love internships as a concept. Mainly they do it during the summer because it's too intense with all the group work as part of the regular curriculum. It's too intense to do an internship at night on top of all the work that goes into solving the business problems. But we love internships. It's just that you're not getting it handed to you on a silver platter.
Of course.
That's not how it works.
You cannot spoil them, right?
No.
Okay, Mr. Calle. For you guys, if you want to know more, because it's only the surface, right? Only the surface. It's not deep inside the Hult, really deep. It's only the surface. So if you want to know more about Hult Business School, how can they provide really deep for you, you can ask me, and then maybe I can help you to talk with Mr. Calle, or we have Indonesian representative like Miss Margareta from Hult Business School Indonesia, so we can provide you to have maybe one-on-one Zoom. It's really available. Jadi teman-teman boleh tanya apapun tentang Hult Business School. Nanti kalau mau ketemu sama Miss Eta, namanya Margareta, namanya Miss Eta panggilnya, atau nanti mau ngobrol sama Mr. Calle himself, kalau misalnya Mr. Calle nggak sibuk ya, karena kan dia going around. Jadi nanti paling kita bisa akomodir itu ya. Jadi teman-teman, kalau mau tahu lagi nanti bisa hubungin kita, ada di nomor ini Cut ya. Ada ya. Ting gitu misalnya. Okay, Mr. Calle, it's an honor for me to have you here. Thank you for coming today and then explain about the Hult Business School. I mean, like, this is the first new insight for me and maybe for the audience out there. I'm really honored. Thank you so much, Mr. Calle.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure because you just landing from London.
I flew in from London yesterday. Yes.
Yesterday, and then directly go here. Oh, it's an honor for us. Thank you so much, Mr. Calle. I hope we can see you again.
Thank you, sir. I hope so too.
Thank you teman-teman yang sudah menonton. Nanti kita akan ketemu lagi di minggu depan. Okay, so stay tuned in KAPOC. Harus ada biar belajar. Bye bye.
Bye bye.